Hello everyone and welcome back to Stylish Nigeria YouTube channel. I want to say thank you to my subscribers. So guys, in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to cut and sew a notch collar jacket female blazer. So we did the pattern drafting a while ago, so I'm going to drop the link on the comment section. So now in this next video I'm transferring the patterns into my fabric, so you can see I'm placing them. So the tutorial for the pattern drafting is a very detailed tutorial, so that was why I decided to share the video, because I didn't want to rush it. Okay, so now I've placed all of my patterns, so I'm trying to cut them all out. And then, so like I said, I'll drop the link on the comment section and on the description box, so you can see at the end of the day, you can see our notch collar came out really fine, beautiful. Okay, so I'm just trying to take out the pin for the button. So this was what we came up with after everything. So it really came out really fine and neat on the inside. So these are all of my patterns. After cutting them, I went ahead, I'll iron interfacing on them. I'll just iron interfacing on all of them, so you can see them. I labeled them. If you watch that tutorial, the center front, the side front, the center back, and the side back. So now we're going to be stitching, so you can see my center back and my side back. So if you watch, like I said, just watch the pattern drafting and then you take it from there. So now I'm taking the side back and the center back, because the back is divided into two pieces because of the center back dart. So I'm going to join them together. So I took out one side of the back and then one center of the back. So I'm joining them together, so you can see what I'm doing now. So after joining, so I'll just go and then trim out everything like this, so you can see. So that's one part. So the next thing, I'm going to do the same thing to the other part, which is the second part of the back piece. Okay, so you can see it there. So I'll join it. So now I'll come to the front now, so you can see my side front and center front. So for the center front now, I'll take my center front like this, one side of my center, because the front is divided into two also, because it is a notch collar. So I'll take one side of the front and then one side of the center of the front. So I'll place them together and then I'm joining them together. Okay, so everything on this jacket, this female blazer, is two, that's two for front, two for back. So after joining, so I'm trying to open up the seam and then give it a good press down. So after doing that, I'll do the same thing to my lining piece. Okay, so you can see my lining, that's the lining for my front. So you can see the lining, the center part of the lining, I use the fabric because it is a collar. Okay, so I'm just trying to arrange all of the pieces and then show you. So that's the back, you can see that's the back. So the lining, I'll keep the lining on the side. So this is one part of the front now on my right, and then one part of the back, so you can see them. So I'm just trying to arrange them. So I'll take the side of the back and then match it to the side of the front, so you can see. I'll join them. So after joining, that's it. You can see one side of the back. Now you can see the center back. Now I'm placing the two back together, so you can actually join this however you understand it to easier. Just couple them together, so at the end of the day, so you can see that center back. Now we'll now bring the two together to join them together. So now this is my full dress. So you can see my back piece, that's it at the center, and then the front on the side. So the front I've joined, and then the next thing is to join them, the front shoulder and the back shoulder together like this. So you join them together. So like I said, couple it how you know how to couple it, how it will be easy for you, or shall join it. So after joining everything, this is what you have for my main piece, and then this is my lining piece. So like I said, the center of the lining front, you use the same fabric for it. So at the end of the day, I want to cut out my neckline. So I did not add the neckline before, but you can add your neckline from the beginning. Just do what works for you, okay? So just do what works for you. So I'm trying to add the front neckline. I added the back neckline though, so I'm just trying to arrange it properly and then I'll cut it out. Okay, so that's it. So like I said, do what works for you. Just join all of your pieces. That's like join lining one side and then join the fabric. So at the end of the day, this is the jacket. You can see I've joined it, everything is joined. It's just like a full dress now. Okay, you can see. And then you can see the lining also. So the next thing, before you continue, you want to cut out the sleeve because it is a jacket, so we need all of our seams neat. So for the sleeve, use your normal basic sleeve pattern. So I'm not going to expatiate on that, just use your normal basic sleeve. So I'm just trying to mark the center of my sleeve and then just make my curve, that's my sleeve curve, and then measure out the length of my sleeve. So for the sleeve I use about 15 because my fabric was not enough, and then mark the wideness of my sleeve, that's how tight I want it to be. So that's what I just did, and then just mark. If you don't know how to cut a basic sleeve, I'll drop the link also. So now after everything, this is what I have. So you take this back, so I'm trying to cut out the front armhole, just dipping it a little bit, and then I'll take this back and go and join them. So I'll join my lining, the sleeves separate, and then join the fabric, the sleeves separate. So after joining, this is what I have. So I'm going to join the sleeve. So just follow the whole process. So join the sleeve, the lining sleeve to the lining piece, and then join the fabric piece, the line, the sleeve of the sleeve, the actual bodies, join it. So that's just basically what we are doing, in case you are confused. So just join like you are sewing a full dress, two of them, you are sewing them separately. So that's what we are doing. So after joining everything now, we'll bring them back together. So I'm just trying to check, and then you place your lining and make sure that you trim everything is equal, the sleeves are equal, the length, everything. And then the next thing I'm going to do, I want to come in from, this is the neckline of the front, that's the collar. So you measure 2.5 inches and then give it a notch at that point. Okay, so you bring the neck, the front neckline, that's that collar area, the notch collar area, that's why it is called notch, because you can see me notching it. So from the notch point, you measure it to the other notch point and then check what you have, how many inches you have. That is what you will use to cut out the collar. Okay, so I'm checking now. So use your own applicable measurement. You can use 15, you can use 16, 14. So it depends on how big the neckline is. So I'm just trying to double check my measurement. Okay, that's what I'm basically doing now. So I've gotten the measurement that I want for my collar. So now take my fabric piece. So I ironed hairstay on it, so just to give it stability. And then I'm going to fold this into two. So the length that I cut out here is about 4 inches. That's the length of my piece. And then I'll fold this into two. Yes, so you can see I'm folding it just to divide my measurement into two. So at the end of the after folding rather, so I'll just come to this point and then measure. So I'll divide what I have. For instance, if I have 15, I'll divide that into two, which is 7.5. So I'll mark it and add half of an inch to it. That's that on the top part. I'll add half of an inch to it, or 1 inch, depends if I want my collar to come out. So and then I'll now come to the down part of the piece that I mark. So on this part, I'm going to mark the exact width of the collar on it. So from that point, I'll just slant it like that, just slant it down. So I'm just trying to double check. So for 15 inches, you have for 7.5 there. So I'll mark it, that's at the down part, and then the top is 8, so that you can achieve this kind of slope that I'm cutting out on it. So that's just like basically the essence of doing that. So you can see now that the slope, that's the collar is formed. So you don't want to cut up and down the same. So you can see how it is looking like. Okay, so after cutting, the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take it back to my machine. I'm going to stitch the side. So that part that I'm marking like that, I'll go and stitch it close and then iron it back. So after ironing, I'll bring it and then notch the center. I'll place the center on the center back of my main fabric piece, and then I'll pin it down. And then because I'm going to, you can pin it around the neckline if you want, and then double pin it when you are placing the lining, but I just pinned it once. And then I'll take my lining, the right side of my lining also facing my fabric, and then I'll place it at that center back also and then pin it. So that's what I was saying, you can pin it straight and then double pin. So I'll pin it all the way to the end now. Okay, so you can see it is pinned. So after pinning, so I'm trying to show you the sleeve. You are going to push the sleeve inside like that, and then make sure you arrange everything at this point of your jacket. So that part, so I'm trying to pin everything. So at this point, make sure this is like the most crucial part of making a female jacket, a female blazer. So make sure that everything matches. That's the sides, the down, everything will match. If it does not match, that jacket is going to have problem. Okay, so you can see my lining. I open it at the center because that's where, because after sewing everything, that's the only part that is going to be left for me to turn it. So I'm trying to pin. So after pinning, I will go and sew everything round, but you can see that part. I reopen that part. Okay, that center back on the lining, not the fabric co. So after sewing everything, I finished joining everything, couple everything together. So I'm just trying to trim out everything. Make sure that everything is laying flat. If not, you are going to have like a sack of garri on your jacket. So I'm just trying to trim out everything. Okay. Just taking my time to trim. And then so you can see that center part, the lining. So that's where you put your hand, and then you start yanking out everything that you did on the inside. So after that, you are going to use your hand, arrange it very well, as in rearrangement, because you are going to iron it, and that ironing is really solid ironing. Iron it down. You know, this my fabric is a white fabric, so or more, I really it was not easy. The truth is, I'm still going to dry clean this jacket before I can wear it because of the iron. So really need to iron it, and you have stains most times when you're working with white and iron. So now I'm trying to just bring it out, arrange everything very well. So that's what you can see that I'm doing. And then I'll iron it. I'll take it back and then iron it and place it for you to see. Okay. So you can see it's like I double did down. So that part, you are going to stitch that part down. You can use a hand stitch, just stitch it neatly so it will not be very obvious. Use a matching thread. Okay, so you can see the notch collar. I am loving the notch collar. It came out fine. So this is the back of my jacket. So my fabric was not enough. So you can see that my sleeves are short at the end of the day. So I'm going to make another video for a longer sleeve. So at the end of the day, you can see the front. The notch collar is like top notch. As in when you say notch, really notch. The thing came out really fine. It's only the sleeve. The sleeve is short. So at the end of the day, you can see how it's looking. It looks good.